Am I the asshole for refusing to share my trust fund with my step-siblings? I, a 19-year-old male, am in my first year of college. Recently, my family received some devastating news. My grandfather, who I am really close to, has been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He's my dad's father, and honestly, he's one of the most important people in my life. My parents divorced when I was 14, and my dad remarried a woman with 2 kids. Ever since, I've split my time between both houses due to the custody arrangement. Recently, my family received some devastating news. My grandfather, who I am really close to, has been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He's my dad's father, and honestly, he's one of the most important people in my life. My parents divorced when I was 14, and my dad remarried a woman with 2 kids. Ever since, I've split my time between both houses due to the custody arrangement. A few weeks ago, my dad and I went over to visit my grandfather. It was a hard visit because my grandpa wanted to talk about what would happen after he's gone. In a really emotional conversation, he told us that he's setting up a trust fund for me, to be given to me when I graduate from college. He said he wanted to make sure I got a good start in life and didn't have to struggle financially. I was really moved by his generosity, and my dad agreed that this is what Grandpa wanted. No one mentioned anything about my step-siblings during this conversation. One day my dad and stepmom sat me down and told me that they think I'm legally and morally obligated to share my trust fund with my 2 step-siblings because, we're all family now. I was completely blindsided by this. First of all, I know for a fact that if my grandfather wanted my step-siblings to have any of that money, he would have set up something for them too. He didn't. He specifically said the trust was for me. So I feel like this whole conversation is disrespectful to my grandfather's wishes. On top of that, I don't really get along with my step-siblings. Let me list just a few reasons why. They act entitled to everything. Ever since my dad remarried, they felt like everything that's mine should also be theirs. My room at my dad's house? They demanded it be split into shared space even though they have their own rooms. If I get anything from my dad, they immediately ask why they didn't get the same thing, even when it's personal stuff like gifts from my mom. They're lazy and don't respect hard work. They don't have jobs, don't help around the house, and they think everything should be handed to them. My stepbrother, who is 17, once complained about having to mow the lawn when he could just pay someone else to do it, with his mom's money, of course. When my stepmom told him to get a part-time job like I did during high school, he laughed and said, "Why work if I don't have to?" They've made it clear they think my family's money is theirs. My stepsister, who is 16, once told me, straight up, that once my grandfather passes, we're gonna be set. She has it in her head that my grandfather's money is up for grabs, and that she's entitled to some of it, just because her mom married into the family. She's even started joking that she'll use her share of the money to buy a new car when she turns 18. Given all this, I don't feel like I owe them anything. The trust fund is meant to help me, and if Grandpa had wanted them to have anything, he would have made sure of it. But now I feel like I'm being guilt-tripped by my dad and stepmom into giving away something that isn't even mine yet. Am I the asshole for refusing to share my trust fund with my entitled step-siblings?